Morning, everybody. Hope you're all well on this beautiful day. Not a day to be stuck indoors, but thank you for joining us for the inaugural UK Dairy Showcase online webinar. Thanks for joining us. I think hopefully the next few webinars, whether you're joining online or later on because potentially you're away or on holiday, etc., then I hope these will be useful for you. We will be doing a series of 6, potentially 7, to sort of mop up ones where we've got timing issues, and hopefully these will provide you with some information going forward into the UK Dairy Showcase, which is going to be happening on the 23rd, week commencing the 23rd of September. So thanks all for joining. This event, this is actually being recorded live, just so you are all aware. And we will be doing a series of presentations. I'll be passing over to Roddy. He'll give you a bit more information about what we're doing on the showcase. Then we'll be going into a series of 3 presentations, followed by a Q&A. So please do pop your questions in the chat box. We'll endeavour to answer as many as we can by the end of the session, which hopefully should finish around 11. We might go over slightly, so do bear with us, and we'll take it from there effectively. If you have any questions afterwards, please do feel free to email us and we'll try and field them. So I'm going to pass you on to Roddy to introduce the DBT funded but managed by AHDB UK Dairy Showcase.
Thank you, Lucy, and good morning, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. I'm just going to give you a very brief overview of the programme and where we are with it now, before I pass to our first presenter. So in terms of the UK Dairy Showcase, this is the first event in the programme, the briefing sessions. From here, we're going to be moving into the opening of the online meeting platform for UK companies to request meetings with our overseas buyers who are coming to the showcase, and vice versa. That is going to open at the very beginning of September. We will be following these sessions, these briefings this week, circulating a list of the buyers who are coming, information about their companies. We're going to be circulating that. It's obviously not the final list because the recruitment process is ongoing, but I am pleased to say that we do have 36 buyers from 21 markets at this point in time. So we will circulate that list to the UK participants, so you can see who we have so far. But the actual online system for booking meetings, requesting meetings with those buyers and getting more information about them, that opens at the beginning of September. The showcase itself is the 26th of September, with the full day of one-to-one meetings and the evening gala reception networking event. So hopefully all UK companies who are participating will have a great opportunity to have one-to-one meetings and then other further conversations in the evening in the wonderful setting of Ashridge House at Berkhamsted. Following that, there's going to be more information coming out soon about a dairy showcase as part of the British Foods Showcase at the time of Cial in Paris in October, at the British Ambassador's residence. That's going to be another opportunity to engage with international buyers. And then going into 2025, markets not identified yet, but following the outcomes from this showcase in September, we'll be planning some missions to market with some companies, and that will follow the showcase as the final part of the UK Dairy Showcase programme. So without further ado, I'm going to pass you to our first presenter, Sophie de Bodisco from DBT France. Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you, Roddy. Good morning, all. Yes, so I'm Sophie de Bodisco. I'm based at the British Embassy in Paris. My role is Head Agri-Food. I'm covering trade, investment, and market access. We are, yes, organizing a showcase during Cial at the Ambassador's Residence on 22nd October. So if some of you are interested in taking part to this event, please liaise with Rodi and AHDB Lucy Randolph. Thank you. So briefly, France. Well, France, I'm in Normandy at the moment, actually. It's very sunny. Normandy being one of the biggest, actually, region of milk production, as you know. So you can see actually from the slides that France is a major consumer of dairy products. And as you see, 28.8 kilo per year per capita is just amazing. Fresh dairy products, yogurt, cheese, it's enormous. It includes really distribution is major retail stores such as Carrefour, like Intermarché, Leclerc. It's enormous. And out-of-home catering also, as you see, can grew actually by almost 14% in value to almost 6 billion in turnover. Higher production costs due to energy, so prices have been rising a lot. Inflation now is slowing down a little bit, which is a good thing. We see also a lot of people actually using, kind of yogurt makers making actually their own yogurt at home. That was actually to try to get away from inflation. And the volume actually of dairy products is 1.75 million tons in 23. As you can see here, I give you an average price actually for fresh dairy products in 23 in France, which is not that bad in terms of price, 3.2 euros a kilo and 7.2 kilos for yogurt, which is not too expensive. Thank you. Next slide, please. I tried to give you a little table on the different categories on, milk and butter and cheese between the UK and France to give you an idea of how we are similar or different into our consumer habits. What is very interesting, cheese kilo per capita between the UK and France, where the UK is 11.1 and France is 27.4. As you know, of course, we do produce a lot of cheese, but France is buying a lot of cheddar from the UK. That's usually the best product from the UK that France is purchasing. Butter, we do import less because we are a major producer of cream and butter. But I have to say, French people do like very much British cheese, like cheddar, as I mentioned, but Stilton is very good. Any kind of Leicester cheese, things which have a taste. It's really well recognized in France. It can be sold into major retailers, but also fromagerie, which are specialized stores. I just also give you a little bit of data on exports and imports. So we do import quite a lot, actually, 408 million tons, actually, in 1,000 tons of cheese from the UK, which is quite a lot. Next slide, please. So opportunities, yes, you know that there are major groups in France like Lactalis, Bell, Savantia. Also, Savantia was quite interested a couple of years ago into purchasing actually a dairy site in the UK because they wanted to produce more cheese in the UK, but it didn't go through. And we work also very much into cooperatives. So cooperative being, many different farmers selling their milk, cream, and butter to one entity. You can find those cooperatives in Normandy, in Brittany, most of the time. So they are Sodia, Lauria. And there are many independent SMEs. Like in the UK, the economic actually network is like 98% of SMEs, very similar to the UK. I didn't add that, but I'd like to mention with you that maybe you heard about Rungis. Rungis, it's the largest European wholesaler market. south of Paris, next to the Orly airport, where we have major wholesalers of cheese there, located there. We do receive cheese from all over Europe and then dispatch back to all over Europe, either to HoReCa, meaning hotel, cafe, restaurant, anything hospitality, but also to restaurants and to retailers or to specialist stores. Rungis is a big place also to do business because they do buy in large quantities. The opportunities are, I would say, for high quality premium, actually, cheese. Interestingly enough, French people are really into melted cheese. I didn't even know that myself, but they're really on the top of cheese preferences. Hard pressed cheese, as I said, soft cheese and goat cheese also. We do import very little, actually, goat cheese from the UK. There is a lot of production of goat cheese in central France, south of France. So they're really the three subsegments of the cheese market. Snacking, definitely, which has been just rocketing during COVID and which is still very high. It's a big market, snacking in France. Small portions or any kind of cheese that you can add to sandwiches or to burgers or to any kind of food on the go is really also in demand. And yes, there is a lot of competition, definitely, because there are many producers, but I would say the French people are really attached to the flavor and the origin. So I think marketing your cheese is very key. You need to have a story behind it. Family business, sustainable, green, whatever. I think, making sure that you have a story behind your product is key. Next slide, please. The buyers will welcome to the UK Dairy Showcase in the UK are Perinter. Perinter is a very large, actually, distribution company. They work in retail, catering, and food industry. They approached us because they are looking into sourcing new products. They already distribute some British cheese, but they are really looking for new brands. They have a huge logistic platform in the southern France, in the mountainous region of the Auvergne. I think that would be a good contact for you. De Sailly, I'm still waiting for them to confirm. De Sailly is a major also distributor based in Rungis. They do import cheese from many different countries. They have been distributing a lot of British cheese in the past. So I just hope that they're going to be able to attend our event. Next slide, please, is our contact details. I'm leading on this project, but I'm collaboratively working with my colleagues, Ariette, who's head of food and drink for Scotland, and Elizabeth Lisi, who's working for the Welsh government, knowing that within all the companies we'll be showcasing in September, we do have cheese from those two regions also. But if you're from Northern Ireland, we do also have a rep from Northern Ireland who comes to Paris quite often. So if you have any questions at the end of the presentation this morning, I'll be very happy to reply. Thank you for your time. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Sophie. So great presentation, really good information. And now I'm going to pass to Beatrice Asua, who's going to be presenting for Italy and Spain. Thank you, Beatrice.
Hello, good morning all. My colleague Jerry Williams from DBT Italy cannot attend. So I will be showing her presentation. She's very pleased to receive any queries or anything. So please, you will find her details at the end of the presentation. Otherwise, we'll share it with you. And I won't say much because I think the presentation is quite self-explanatory. So please, next slide. This is the potential opportunities. There are a lot of potential opportunities for for dairy products in general, I think for Italy. Italy is also a manufacturer of cheese as well as Spain and France, but in this case, I think I can't say much because this is, I think, is quite self-explanatory. Okay, next slide. Yeah, this is a little bit of the top 10 exports to Italy. As you will see, cheese had 16.1 million pounds, which is 3.4% of the total UK food and drink exports to Italy, so it's quite low. It is quite low, so this is a little bit, yeah, whiskey is always on the top of the agenda, and it's the same in Spain. I will explain later on Spain. But this is a little bit like, you know. Next slide, please. Okay, this is a little bit of the data. So, so the retail sales value in Italy is growing by 7%. Hard cheese is very, very popular with retail values increasing by 8%. 90% is grocery retailers and 0.6% is e-commerce. It's the same similar picture in Italy. Similar pictures are in Spain and Italy. We're still very much on to going to the shop rather than doing e-commerce. And on retail channels is supermarkets. They have less hypermarkets that we do have in France or in Spain. So that's why the hypermarkets figure is so low. And they also have small grocers, and they also have a lot of cheese, small cheese shops. British dairy brands include Cathedral City, Snowdonia Cheese, Wakey Farms, Long's Clays, Odell Farms, and Fine Cheese Company. It's a similar picture to Spain, what I can see. It's really all about cheddar, probably. Next slide, please. This is the price of cheese in Italy has risen considerably after the COVID and the increase of price, and well, the soft cheese, the free from lactose also continues to perform very well. There's a lot of people now discovering the same in Spain, they are lactose-free intolerant, or simply deciding to buy something much more digestive. Hard cheese, this is important for Italy. Consumers are paying more attention to the origin of the products that they consume, including the production chain. So this is a little bit the picture. I should imagine, like always, like the same in Spain, that people is also looking for more protein products, and that's why cheese is starting to sales are picking up. Next slide, please. Routes to the Italian market. They are importer, via importer, and then at the same time, those importers are distributors, and they also to sell to the big players. You need to go for an importer. Unless you have, I should imagine, a direct office in Europe, and then you can go to a distributor rather than an importer. Traditional, iconic British products with British branding, British artisan cheese, to British cheddars. British producers must be prepared to do a big push product awareness. The British cheese is relatively unknown across Italy. This is the same picture as Spain, that there's no marketing promotion, and you are competing with the French cheeses and the Swiss cheeses and the cheeses from everyone that they spend a lot of money. The vegan, free-flow, and vegetarian sector continues to be niche with very few products in the market. And the demand of private label products is increasing as with leading manufacturers. There is a considerable potential in this sector. So 3 things to bear in mind, which is private label, vegan, free-from, and British artisan cheese, and the traditional iconic British cheese. Next slide. So this is the 2 companies. This is the company that will attend the mission, which is called DISALP. It's a leading distributor of Italian and non-Italian cheese in Italy. And they include cheeses from France, Spain, Netherlands, Ireland, Greece, Cyprus, and Switzerland. At present, they have Snowdonia and Low Clawson Dairy. And the catalog also includes butter, cream, and plant-based products. Other dairy importers and distributors in Italy are Atlanta Seals, Selecta, Baza Food, Caparo, and Valsana. And next slide, please. That's it. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, I didn't add much to the presentation from Italy, but it's just it's not my country. So now I will talk a little bit about Spain. Well, as I introduced myself before, but now I will introduce from the Spanish perspective. I'm Beatriz Azúa. I'm based in Madrid, and I cover the whole of Spain on terms of food and drink. And I cover trade, market access also, and I don't do investment. But I will introduce you a little bit about Spain, how it's the market divided and what's available and what is not. I have to give you a little bit of hints between what I was discussing about Italy, because Italy and Spain are quite similar on the majority of sectors. So next one, please. So in the terms of food and drink, Spain, we consider Spain divided into two markets. One is the expats, tourist areas, which is the costas and the islands, being the Balearic and the Canary Islands, in where we receive every year 18 million British tourists a year, plus tourists from other nationalities. This makes a very natural and attractive market for the British companies. I would say that this target with the costas is all about price, because there are a lot of all-inclusive hotels, like kind of British pubs, and they are looking for price. And then there's the local national market. All the Spaniards, Spain, the UK is the preferred destination for a short break destination for Spaniards, and also the place where all the Spaniards go to learn English. Therefore, I'm well aware of British products. And that when we talk about that, we talk about places like Madrid, Barcelona, we talk about Seville, we talk about Malaga, can be considered costas and can be considered also mainland Spain. And we talk about all along the side with Portugal, next to Portugal, with Extremadura and really mainland Spain. Mainland Spain looks a bit more for quality and more for products which they could be British, they love British products because they are very well known by its quality and by, so that's a good advantage, but also looking more for quality rather than for price like the costas. So very clear two markets, costas and mainland. Next slide, please. This is the Spain sales channel. We have a lot of hypermarkets like Carrefour, Auchan, Lidl, Leclerc, but supermarkets. And I have to say that on supermarkets, the market leader is Mercadona. Mercadona is a Spanish brand. It's following exactly Tesco. It's like Tesco, I would say. It's all own label. They do have cheddar, and they do have some Stilton in the costas, but really it. But they are really much looking for own label. Very difficult to penetrate. Very difficult because also they like to be part of the companies that they work for them. So they like to be like kind of, they like to be on the shareholder. So it's very difficult to work with them. And I would say then we only have one department store in Spain called El Corte Inglés. El Corte Inglés have hypermarkets, have supermarkets, and they are good market leaders. And then Carrefour is also very, very important in Spain. And Auchan, Lidl, and Aldi are quickly starting to grow up. And they also have seen some cheddar in Lidl and Aldi. And then Costco also has started in Spain now, and there are already 4 stores and also doing big business. I think they're going to grow very fast in Spain. We also have Macro, and then we have small Spanish chains like Ahorra Más, like Supermercado Piedras. We have really small chains of Spanish players. And then there are also specialty chains like Dinosol in the Canary Islands. So then every area has its own kind of chain of supermarkets. There's also, for example, in Alicante, in the Costas, there's Más y Más, which are really specialized on British products. So depending on where you go, you have their specialized. You will need an importer to come to Spain, a distributor. That will go on the next slide, please. So I will explain a little bit about the dairy market. The dairy market in Spain is growing by 4.5%. It's very important to say that we are manufacturers of cheese, butter, and dairy in general, big players, big manufacturers here in Spain. And the Manchego cheese is very well recognized in the world, and it's very difficult to fight with. But you know, if any of you have break the market in France, which is even more complex than Spain, I would say that you can do it in Spain. I would say that the rise in the fast food consumption and the demand in Spain for protein-rich food products is making the dairy market growing very fast. And I would say that everything now in Spain probably is the same in your country. Everything is like, says protein-rich. And also the plant-based, for example, Eat Lean is growing very fast in Spain. I think everything now is protein-rich because it's just said on the label. You know, cheese is the second most consumed dairy derivative. The first one is milk, but we are producers of milk. Though I have to say in the Costas, British fresh milk is on offer. But that's only for the Costas because the British expats and the British tourists would like to have their cheese with the fresh milk. There's a few producers in Spain of fresh milk, and it's not very popular as it is in the UK, I would say. And I think this is a little bit the story. This is if you don't know what's Manchego cheese, you have a picture there of Manchego cheese, which is very, very popular in Spain. And there's a lot of history between cheese and wine in Spain because we're also producers of wine. And there's also, but these companies spend fortunes on marketing, which, you know, I think that will be an important factor for any British companies that would like to break into the market. Next slide, please. There are two types of buying cheese in Spain. These are specialty shops. There are a lot of specialty shops in Spain, very nice specialty shops in Spain, in where you can find some kind of cheddar, some kind of Stilton, and really, I have to say, frankly, not more than that. And then over the counter and at supermarkets. So, and that's where, you know, it's more the price. And also, it's very important also to say, to mention the catering sector and the food service sector in Spain, which is very, very strong. I was said before, the Costas with all-included hotels, as well as pubs, as well as everything that is on the Costas, but it's also on tapas bar all along Spain, in mainland, and on the Costas. Next slide, please. Well, the British dairy market, this is what it is. The British dairy market is cheddar as a grated cheddar for the food service sector, or sliced cheddar for the supermarkets, but nothing, I would say, nothing special. And then some Stilton in some specialty places. That's it. So I think there is a lot of scope for British cheese in Spain. But as I mentioned before, it is very important that to mention that the French, the Swiss, even the Spaniards, the promotion they spend, the money they spent in Spain on promoting cheese and dairy is very, very important. So I would say that if you really want to break this sector into this market, they will need a little bit of push on marketing. Next slide. These are the two Spanish buyers will be going to the mission. Fricodan is a multi-category importer that sells mainly to the Costas, to the Carrefours, to the Costcos, to the Corte Inglés, to everyone. Sells all along the Costas, mainland Spain, and the islands. So it's really multi-category, sells everything, but also sells cheese. And it's also cheese, butter, creams, and fresh milk from the UK. And he's looking forward to expand his range. So it's the main importer, I would say, of British products into Spain. And Prima Ibérica is more dedicated onto just dairy sector, focusing on the dairy sector. at present working with Itlin, and also they buy approximately 200 tons of cheddar annually. They're starting to now with Castle Dairies Brata from Wales, and they hope to do well, but it's early days now. So this is a very important player for the dairy sector. They also sell to the Costas and to the mainland Spain, which is important. You always have to ask your importer who they sell to. And next slide, please.
I think
we've
Sorry.
lost.
We seem to have lost Beatrice there.
Yeah, my line was cut off. I don't know what happened.
Oh, you're back. Good.
Okay. Well, Carmen is there as a backup. If it happens again, Carmen can continue.
Yeah,
I have put, because it's very, very important to Spain, the general guidance on how to export to Spain. There are probably many companies in the line that they used to sell directly to stores. Now you cannot do it because they don't have an import license. This is some of the general guidance. I have a few slides which are self-explanatory. You need a responsible person in the EU. All products label needs to be in Spanish, including description, ingredients, allergens, sell by dates, which is important. You need to have all the products with technical sheets. All products of animal origin requires a health certificate issued by a registered UK veterinary surgeon. It is very important that they send in the consignment the original certificate, not a photocopy, because otherwise the consignment is rejected. Next slide. Well, this is the templates. We will share this with AHDB so they can share with all the companies. You need to register in Trafdesk. You need to do the check declaration, the general phytosanitary forms. I have all the links there, and this is quite self-explanatory. Next slide, please. This is declaration for animal products, which is very important. I have to mention also that consider if you send in with your shipment of cheese, I don't know, a table like a cutting board for the cheese, or a knife for the cheese. Everything that touches food is considered food and drink, and we have to be following all these procedures. So it's not non-animal. Everything that touches the food is considered food in Spain. So any cutting boards, anything have to be declared as food in Spain. You have to take the correct check, and that's it. Next one. And this is the relabeling. You're allowed to relabel now in Spain. So you can use a sticker. You don't need to use initially, you don't need to put on everything in Spanish on the packaging. You can start with a sticker, and if things go well, then you can maybe redo your packaging, but a sticker is approved. Next slide, please. And it will be very important also to mention that we'll have a new plastic, there's a new plastic rule of recycling rule that will come into place in Spain from January 2025. We will also share the link of that one page we have produced, because that's very important on the recycling and the plastics and the use of plastic and everything. Spain, as always, will be the first one to impose a new EU law from the 1st of January 2025. So we will share also that one pager. I'm happy to take any questions. So if you need any further information, please do send us an email. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And that's it now, leaving the floor.
Thank you, Beatrice. Much appreciated, and thank you for filling in for Italy as well as Spain. And some really good information. I think, as Beatrice mentioned, the detailed information about exporting will be made available to companies, as will all these briefing sessions. They're all being recorded, so they'll all be available after for a consultant to watch at any time. I think just before going to Q&A, one of the things that we wanted to flag up to companies is that we will be organising a separate session. The date TBC, but it will be in advance of the UK showcase in September, aiming for the beginning of September. We're going to be doing a distinct session about export logistics for EU. We're putting together a pack of solutions in a coordinated pack together to cover all of the issues, to address all of the issues that companies face when exporting to the EU, be that anything from samples to small quantities, part pallets, all the way to full pallets. Companies have, we know companies have experienced difficulties, costs, sometimes product rejections, all kinds of issues with getting less than full loads into Europe of products of animal origin. So there are a lot of solutions out there. There are companies who provide different elements of solutions for different cases, but bringing it all together in one more easy to access comprehensive set of solutions is something that we wanted to add as part of a tool for this to help companies for the showcase. And this will include how to deal with consolidated samples as well as individual shipments direct from companies. So this is going to be get its own session because of the complex nature of it, and we're aiming to schedule that for the beginning of September. So we'll communicate in due course about that. I'm just going to pass over now to Q&A. I'm not sure if any questions came in on the chat, but if there are any questions, I believe, Beatrice, you've got your hand up.
Yes, I was going to say that we are preparing in Spain because we are discussing with the authorities here how to bring samples. So we're hoping for the Spanish authorities, the Spanish Minister of Health, to send us a document on how to bring samples from the UK. Okay, as soon as we also have it, we will share it with you.
Yes, if you can, that'd be good. Anything that's going to help inform the situation, that would be useful. Thank you.
Just to let you know, this will all be, this is all recorded and will be uploaded online, and the presentations, etc., will be available post-event. We're fully aware lots of people are actually on holiday at the moment, which is one of the reasons why we are making sure that this is recorded and available online. Let us know if you've got any other questions. We'll give you a minute or so to write anything down, but if not, we can wind up a little bit early. And just to let you know, we'll be running a webinar this afternoon on Poland. A couple of the other countries will actually be done at a slightly later date because we've had a couple of date clashes, but we will be running a webinar later on Poland, so do join us for that one too. Okay.
Perhaps while we're waiting to see if there's any other questions, I could anticipate a potential question from companies, and that would be, are there any opportunities for my products? And I'm not a cheese producer, because obviously some of these European markets, the main opportunity might be cheese, but we do have a wide variety of UK exporters, and most of whom we are hoping are participating in the showcase. So thankfully the answer to that is yes. The list, the update list that will be circulating on buyers will give a breakdown of the different profiles of the companies who are coming to showcase. And they do cover dairy ingredients such as milk powder, fresh milk, other milk derivatives, as well as other dairy products such as yogurts, drinks, other products, other added value products made from British milk, from UK milk, and there's quite a wide coverage of the dairy sector. So that, and not obviously other markets, not in the EU. There's many of them are buyers of a wider variety of dairy products, just by the nature of those markets.
Thanks, Roddy. Sophie, you've got a hand up.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to share with everybody that actually, you remember that Marks and Spencer was in France, and actually any kind of dairy products were really, really doing extremely well. Double cream, cottage cheese, some yogurt. Yale Valley used to work with them, as you know, because they were doing mostly actually private label. But on top of just cheddar and Leicester, as I said, and everything, dairy products were working well via Marks and Spencer. So we need to look at how we could reproduce the success now that Marks and Spencer has left with some other people. Because it was not only cheese. I mean, double cream is something that we don't really produce. Even it might not be very large volume, I think there might be opportunity there too. Thanks.
Thanks, Sophie. Really helpful. Okay, I can see we probably don't have any other questions. Feel free to email myself or Roddy if you do have anything, and we can pass them on, or you can go directly if you have the contact details to the various offices if you would like to know any more. But anything else, Roddy? Otherwise, we can say goodbye and we can get a bit of our day back. Fantastic. Thanks, everybody. Hopefully you join us later for the Poland one. But yes, in the meantime, have a good day. Thank you.